गौरंग कंदारिक गिरिधर श्री श्री राधा विनोद बिहारी जू की जाय। श्री गोविंद गोपीनाथ मदन मोहन जू की जाय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद शतर शत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत नारायण गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील गुरुदेव की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद शतर शत शिशुमार भक्ति वेदांत वामन गोस्वामी महाराज की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद शतर शत शिशुमार भक्ति प्रज्ञान केशव श्रील भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। नित्याल प्रविष्टम विष्णुपाद शतर शत शिशुमार भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोसाई प्रभुपाद की जय. Sorry, my mind is not very focused right now. Let me just do this over again. Nityala Pravishtam Vishnupada Shatara Shata Shishmar Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Gosai Maharaj ki jai. Nityala Pravishtam Vishnupada Shatara Shata Shishmar Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Prabhupada ki jai. Nityala Pravishta Maha Bhagavat Srila Gorksharas Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Nityala Pravishta Srila Saccidānanda Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura ki jai. Nityala Pravishta Vaishnav Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannathas Babaji Maharaj ki jai. Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga ki jai. Shri Rup Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jeev Gopal Bhattadas Gunati Shar Gosai Prabhu ki jai. Shri Sarup Damodar Rai Ramanandari Shri Gaur Parshad Vrinda ki jai. नामचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासरी गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. श्री क्षेत्र मंडल कोरमंडल ब्रजमंडल मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की जय. सर्व अभिष्ट प्रदात गिरिराज महाराज की जय. श्री राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड की जय. श्री यमुना देवी गंग देवी की जय. श्री तुलसी महारानी वृंद देवी की जय. श्री भक्ति देवी की जय. श्री पूर्णमासी योग माया की जय. श्री गोपेश्वर महादेव की जय. श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय. जय श्री हरिनाम चिंतामणि की जय. जय श्री नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय. श्री सच्चिदानंद गौर हरि की जय. श्री हरिनाम प्रभु की जय. श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय. समागत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. श्री निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल. We will do the Mangala Charan and then begin. Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Guruve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Okay. Shri Siddhanta Saraswati Tividito Gaudiya Gurvanvaye Bhato Bhanuriva Prabhata Gagane Yogora Sankirtanaya Maya Varati Mingilo Daragatan Udrita Jiva Niman Krishna Prema Sudabdikahana Sukham Pradat Prabhung Tang Bhaje Vande Bhakti Vinodang Shri Gaura Shakti Swarupakam Bhakti Shastragya Samrajam Radharasa Sudhanidhim Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Saccidānanda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugavarayate Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa sindhobhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Vrishabhanusutan vitavamatanum Yamuna tatanagarananda sutam Murali kalagita vinoraparang Bhajagodrumakanana kunjavidum Smaragoragadadhara kelikalam Bhavagoragadadhara pakshachara Shrinu Gauragadadhara Charukatang Bhajagodrumakanana Kunjavidum Tavai Vasmi Na Jivami Tvaya Vina Iti Vigyaya Devi Twang Nayamang Charanantikam Bhaktya Vihina Aparada Lakshaya Kshiptascha Kama Ditaranga Madhe Kripa Mai Tvam Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charanaravindam Bhaja Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranams, Nitai Mukeshji, and I see there's one person on YouTube. If you write a comment, I'll know who you are. But Dandavat Pranams, whoever that is. It's interesting. Usually there's a lot of people by now, but today there's only two. Anyways, also, I know many devotees will be watching in the future, so pranams to all of you watching in the future. We are continuing our reading of Sri Harināma-cintāmaṇi. We're getting close to the end. I think we'll finish, well, I don't know. Let's see if we finish it today, or if we don't finish it today, we'll finish it tomorrow. Um, yeah. All right. So this last chapter, it's called Bhajana-praṇālī, the method of bhajan. This is way above my head. I not even in a theoretical way do I understand this topic very well. And I haven't been reading it outside of our, outside of these online programs. And so, um, yeah, that's why I've been doing so much revision of it. Um, and even with all that revision, I'm still like, I still don't have it all. But anyhow, let's just go back a little bit. I think this is our sixth day reading this last chapter, but many of the days I could only read for half an hour. But wait, what verse did we end with last time? I think, yeah, Smarandasha? I think it was here, Smarandasha, verse 86. Yeah, all right, so let's see. I'm just moving back a little bit. Just a little bit of a review, what we read. Okay, let's read from this point on. I'll just read the translations. Okay, so I'm starting from verse 42. Sitting in a secluded place, one should give up the 10 offenses with the faith that Nam and Nami, that means the name and the named, are one tattva. In a few days, one will attain the mercy of the name, and the form of Sri Shamasundar will manifest. When the name and form become identical during sadhan, during one's chanting of the name, the form appears in the heart at every moment. After some days, the Lord's qualities are added along with his form, and one relishes those qualities while remembering Sri Nam. In a few days, the name, form, and qualities become one. And as one chants the name, these three manifest at every moment. Nam, Rup, Gun. And then Mantra Dhyanamai, this is also known as Mantramaya Upasana, is worship of the holy name. One should know that this is the first wave of the appearance of the results of one's chanting. When one worships Radha and Krishna through meditating upon one's mantra. It's Mantramaya Upasana. And what was the definition we read from my Gurudev of Mantramaya Upasana? But this is at a very high stage. This is after the name, form, and qualities have become identical to one in the person's chanting, just right before the lila manifests. So this is, yeah, very high stage of mantra mayupasana. And we looked at this once before, but I have a bad memory, so I just want to see it one more time. How do I move this thing? Okay, there. Oh, that's so annoying. One second. Okay. Um, okay, this is from the book Venu Geet. Let's see what it says. Since Srila Jiva Goswami thought it rare to find someone qualified to do bhajan and parakya bhav, he prescribed the system of mantra maya upasana. It's meditation on a single pastime and his Krishna Sandarbha, Anuched 156. Sri Rupa, Raghunath, and other Goswamis have described in their literatures Swarasiki Upasana, meditation on a chain of Krishna's pastimes that flow one after another. This is the inner heart's desire of Sriman Mahaprabhu. Huh, that's interesting. Okay, wait. Let me just find a different thing. That wasn't very complete. Um, okay, so this is from Brahma Samhita, the commentary on verses 3 to 4. The unmanifest pastimes of this Goloka that are revealed to the conditioned soul are of two types. The purport is that there are two types of process adopted by practicing devotees in order to realize these pastimes. One is mantramaya upasana, and the other is swarasiki upasana. These will now be explained. Srila Jiva Goswami has stated, Tattad ekatara stanadi, niyata stanika evam tattan mantra dhyanamaya. That means mantra maya upasana is a process in which any one particular pastime, which is situated in one location, is being contemplated continuously by means of a mantra, and the worship of that pastime is being accomplished by this method. The pastimes in which various types of spontaneous, playful revelry are strung together of their own accord in an uninterrupted succession extending over several locations are called swarasiki or swabhaviki, meaning natural. This verse explains both mantra maya upasana and swarasiki upasana. What verse is it in Brahma Samhita? Anyways, doesn't matter. Anyways, let's just okay. So that's couple explanations. We read this one before in Dhammadarashtakam. This is my Gurudev. He says, there are two modes of meditation, mantra-maya upasana and swarasiki upasana. When one deliberately concentrates on remembering only one particular pastime while performing bhajan, it is called mantra-maya upasana. But when Sri Bhagavan's pastimes manifest in one's heart spontaneously, one after another, it is called swarasiki upasana. When performing bhajan in Vraj, only swarasiki upasana is present. Hmm. Anyhow, okay, so let's continue on. So first is worship through meditating upon one's mantra. Mantra dhyanamai is worship of the holy name. One should know that this is the first wave of the appearance of the results of one's chanting. At the time of meditation, one is at the yoga pit beneath a desire tree. There, Krishna is seen happily surrounded by gopas and gopis. Immersed in the bliss of bhajan, the devotee experiences joy as all the symptoms of sattvic vikar manifest. Gradually, as the name's own natural fragrance blossoms, the eightfold pastimes of Krishna manifest. And then comes Swarasiki Upasana, worship through spontaneous meditation. When Swarasiki Upasana, worship through spontaneous meditation occurs, one attains darshan of Krishna performing pastimes at various places during the day. So not just one location, but various places, various pastimes at various places, one after another, spontaneously. By the mercy of the Guru, the devotee immediately acquires his Siddha Swarup, his spiritual form, and enters those pastimes, accompanying a Saki. The daughter of Vrishabhanu, Sri Radha, is Mahabhav Swarupini, the personification of the highest ecstasy. Bhakti in accordance with her is always filled with prem. Following the instructions of the Sakis, one engages in service of the divine couple. Thus, the Rasiks become absorbed in Mahaprem. At this point, one's sadhan bhajan is close to perfection. Then, by your mercy, the subtle body is discarded and one achieves Vastu Siddhi. One takes birth in a Bhoma Vrindavan, from the womb of a gopi. So that's Vastu Siddhi. It's not just that they're internally meditating upon their spiritual form, but they've actually taken birth. That's Vastu Siddhi. Words cannot extend beyond this. Whatever is beyond this can only be experienced by the power of mercy. This is the supreme sadhan that leads to Ujjvala Ras, by which one attains the treasure of Krishna Prem. In order to achieve Ujjvala Ras, there are 11 aspects. They're the Ekadash Bhav: relationship, age, name, form, connection with a particular group, dress, orders, residence, service, one's highest aspiration, and one's mood as a dependent maidservant. So that is Sambandha, Vayasa, Nam, Rup, Yuta, Vesh, Agyavas, Seva, and Parakashta. And then finally Palyadasi Bhav. So these are the Ekadash Bhav. The complete sadhan of Ekadash Bhav must progress through 5 specific stages in the life of a sadhak. So now we're gonna read about the sadhana of Ekadash Bhav. I think that's what the rest of this chapter is about. I don't know though. That's just my guess. So what are the different stages of sadhan of Ekadash Bhav? That is Shravan Dasha, that's hearing. That's then Varan Dasha, accepting. Smaran Dasha, that's remembering. Apan Dasha, that's achieving. And Sampatti Dasha, that's full possession. These are considered to be the 5 stages of sadhan in this Ekadash Bhav. Now, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining. He's going to go through these. Let's just one more time. Let's just see it. Shravan, Varan, Smaran, Apan, Sampatti. Okay, those five. Shravan, Varan, Smaran, Apan, Sampatti. So now, first is Shravan. This is the initial stage of Shravan Dasha. So that Mahajan, Sri Gurudev, who is on this path of bhav, is superior to oneself, and he is overwhelmed with pure divine sentiments. He is Shuddha Bhavuk. By hearing Bhav Tattva, the principles of Bhav from his divine mouth, the stage of Shravan Dasha manifests. First, let's understand what does Bhav Tattva mean. It says, by hearing Bhav Tattva from his divine mouth, then the stage of Shravan Dasha manifests. So what is Bhav Tattva? What is the principle of Bhav? One must consider that there are two aspects to Bhav Tattva. One's own Ekadash Bhav, and also Krishna's Leela. Okay, so Bhav Tattva refers to one's own Ekadash Bhav, those 11 things that we read, and also Krishna's Leela. So upon hearing about the eightfold pastimes of Radha Krishna, spiritual greed for that arises. Due to that greed, one inquires at the feet of the Guru. One inquires, "O Mahashaya, how can I attain these pastimes?" Gurudev then shows his mercy by describing Ekadash Bhav and how it applies to the principle of Leela. Being pleased, the master will instruct one. With this bhav, go and enter within these pastimes. With his perfected mood, with his siddha bhav, upon hearing about his pure form, one accepts that bhav into his own heart. At that time of accepting that bhav, one should deliberate upon what one's particular ruchi, one's particular taste or inclination, and inform one's guru with sincerity. So one should contemplate, do I love Krishna like a servant or a friend or a or do I feel parental feelings for Krishna or as a lover? So one will deliberate upon what kind of ruchi, what kind of inclination one has towards Krishna, and then inform one's guru with sincerity. "O Prabhu, you have mercifully given me my identity, and I am fully satisfied with that. I have a natural inclination for this type of bhav. Therefore, taking your instructions upon my head, I will be purified." If it is not one's ruchi, one should sincerely submit one's particular ruchi to the feet of Sri Guru. Then Gurudev will reflect upon it and give him another bhav. Then, if the one likes this, he can manifest his own bhav. And there are examples, right, of when, like, what's an example? Is it Srinivas or is it Shamananda? I think it was Srinivas, right? Srinivas's guru is Hriday Chaitanya, but his mood went to like only his mood was in Sakyaras, so he wasn't able to give. Why do I always get Srinivas and Shamananda mixed up? Anyways, and so then he sent him to Jiva Goswami, and then Jiva Goswami. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that this ruchi for the Jivatma is innate. It's already within us. Every jiva has a particular ruchi for Krishna. And so those who are attracted to dasya or sakya, they have no ruchi for Shringar ras. So that person should be given instruction in those rasas. Otherwise, there'll be misfortune. Oh, Shamananda, I said Srinivas, I got it wrong. The perfect ruchi of Mahatma Shamananda was unknown initially, which is why he was first introduced to Sakyaras. Later, by the mercy of Sri Jiva, he attained bhajan of his innate tendency, his swaruchi, and became famous for that. According to the avatar, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, one is judged upon the strength of one's capability and qualification. So I don't understand how people make the argument um, that one's ruchi is solely bestowed by Sri Guru. And the Guru just chooses which ruchi to put into every soul. Like people say this, um, even supposedly within our Kodia family, like, within our line, but I doubt how much they really are dedicated, like, followers of our line. But they say that, oh, that every jiva is just an empty vessel that needs to be filled with a particular type of ruchi, which is given by one's guru. And the guru chooses which ruchi to instill in every jiva. But this is, according to Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur here, he gives an example of Shamananda, who was introduced to Sakyaras, but that wasn't what his innate ruchi was. And so then later, by the mercy of Shri Jiva, he attained bhajan and his innate with his swaruchi. Okay, so now one should inform Gurudev about one's siddha bhav. Thus, after Guru and disciple have discussed this matter, from that moment on, the disciple's own siddha bhav is finally fixed. One's perfected mood, feelings for Krishna, is finally fixed. The disciple should fall at the feet of the Guru and pray to him, humbly begging for attaining perfection in his bhav. And Haribol Binda Didi. Then Gurudev will mercifully give instructions, and the disciple may enter that bhav. Okay, so that was all, I think, under Shravandasha. And now comes Dridha Varan, firm acceptance. Now's the next stage of one's sadhan in this Ekadash Bhav is Dridha Varan. Now is Varandasha. So Dridha Varan, firm acceptance. Then, following at Sri Guru's feet, one should say, I accept your instructions concerning my bhav. I shall never abandon this bhav. Whether in life or in death, it shall always remain with me. Okay, so first one hears about this bhav. That's the Shravan Dasha. One hears about which one's particular ruchi, and then if this really aligns with one's swaruchi, what one heard from Sri Guru, then one will tell that to Sri Guru, and then one comes to the stage of Varandasha, fully accepting, yes, okay, this is my bhav. This is my ruchi towards Krishna. So then, falling at the feet of Sri Guru, one should say, I accept your instruction concerning my bhav. I shall never abandon this bhav, whether in life and death, it shall always remain with me. It's Varandasha. Observing one's perfected, and now this section is called um, a consideration about impediments in bhajan. So, observing one's perfected ekadash bhav, one should meditate upon one's bhav with heartfelt determination. Now is Smarandasha. Now one's heard from Sri Guru, one's fully accepted it, their bhav, and now one begins meditation, Smarandasha. While engaged in this smaran, there is one consideration which is beautiful. One should always meditate on that which is most suitable. If one performs smaran upon things which are unsuitable, perfection will never be achieved, even if one practices for many yugas. I think we read up to this point, right? Let's just in case. I don't want to miss anything. So I'll read the Bengali from this point on. So Nija siddha ekadash bhave vrati hoye, smaribe sudrida chitte nija bhava chaye. Observing one's perfected ekadash bhav, one should meditate upon one's bhav with heartfelt determination. On Haribol, Nri Hari Prabhu, and Bhavatarani Mataji. Haribol. Smarane vichar eka acheto sundar, apaner jogya smriti koro nirantar. While engaged in this smaran, there is one consideration which is beautiful. One should always meditate on that which is most suitable. Apaner ajogya smarana jadi hoy, bahujuga sadhileo siddhi kabu noy. If one performs smaran upon those things which are unsuitable, perfection will never be achieved, even if one practices for many yugas. And this is even after reaching such a high stage, even after the Shravandasha and then the Varandasha. But if one's Smarandasha is not appropriate, I sorry, if one's practice of Smaran is not appropriate even at that stage, even after many yugas, perfection will never be achieved. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura, he says, there is no gradual perfection in one sadhan unless one progresses from smarandasha to apanadasha. The indescribable reality of bhajan cannot be achieved by external exhibitions of karma, jnana, yoga, or anything else. Externally, one may be in a mood of renunciation while cultivating the holy name. Yet internally, there may be a constant display of maharas. All those sadhaks who keep themselves busy making an external show but make no endeavor to steady their minds will never progress in their smaran and become eligible for the stage of apana. Therefore, they will never reach perfection in their sadhan for many lifetimes. This bhajan is simple, but if there's any type of impure identification present within it, one will fall from the path of internal sadhan, and that will not be vraj sadhan. One should approach Sri Gurudev with a simple heart, understanding the purity and distinction of this type of bhajan, and engage in that. Very interesting though, huh? Even at such a high stage of one's practice, there these instructions that even once you've reached this stage, you've got your Ekadash Bhav from Sri Guru, you've heard that all, and you now you've accepted it, and now you're engaging in smaran. But even then, if even at that stage, it can take many yugas if you don't follow appropriately, like this practice of smaran appropriately. And if you don't make an endeavor to steady your mind and progress in this smaran, then you'll never that person will never become eligible for the next stage of apan. Okay, so now what is that stage? Apan dasha? Let's see. Apana sadhane smriti jabe hoye vrati achire apana dasha hoy shuddha ati. As one strictly engages in one sadhan and performs smaran, one will attain the most pure stage of apan dasha. I want to see how my Srila Gurudev explains apan dasha. Let's see. Apan dasha. Okay, so this is in Bhajan Rahasya. It says the five dashas are Shravan dasha, the stage of hearing, and that's hearing one's Ekadasha Bhav, right, from Shri Guru. Then Varan dasha, the stage of accepting that, acceptance. Then third is Smaran dasha, the stage of remembrance. And then here it says Bhavapana dasha, or Apana dasha, or Bhavapana dasha. That means the stage of spiritual ecstasy. And then Prem Sampatti dasha, the stage in which the highest success of Prem is achieved. Okay, I'm just looking again. Apan dasha, the stage of spiritual ecstasy. And then Sampatti dasha, the stage of the high success of Prem. Okay, it's explained the same way in those places. Okay, cool. By constantly meditating upon one's pure bhav, the mundane conceptions that bind one will soon flee far away. And now, Baddha Jeev Je Krame Bhav Prapta Hon. How the conditioned jiva eventually attains bhav. Wait, did I read the Bengali for this? Yeah. Nija Shuddha Bhaver Je Nirantara Smriti Tahe Dur Hoy Shigra Jada Buddhimati. Okay, sorry. Okay. Jada Bhadda Jiva Bhuli Nija Siddha Sattva Jada Abhimane Hoy Jada Dehe Matta. The jiva who is bound by matter forgets his own state of perfection. Mentally identifying with matter, he becomes engrossed in the material body. So this is how, this section that we're reading now is how the conditioned jiva eventually attains bhav. So the jiva who is bound by matter forgets his own state of perfection. Mentally identifying with matter, he becomes engrossed in the material body. Then Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura says, it is being explained here how attaining such perfection is easy. The jiva is a pure spiritual ray. The jiva is naturally, inherently spiritual and has a spiritual form. When he forgets his own perfect existence, the jiva is bound by Maya and becomes offensive to Krishna. And mentally identifying with matter, he becomes engrossed in his material body. It is extremely easy to have realization of one's perfect identity if one has the grace of a pure guru. From this point on, we will write about the gradual attainment of one's Siddha Swarup. For the Baddha Jiva, there is a gradual process within Bhakti Sadhan. One is Vaidakrama, the method of following regulations, and the other, and um one is the other Raganuga Sadhyakram, the method of spontaneous bhakti to reach the desired object. Initially, the methods of Vaidha and Raganuga both seem different. But that difference no longer exists at the stage of bhav apana, achieving one's bhav. Vaidha krama arises when one accepts the disciplines of Shastra. The method of Raganuga arises from a desire to take part in the activities of the people of Raj. Thus, the first of these methods is common, and the latter is rare. Tobe jadi Krishna lila koriya shravan lobha hoy paibare nija siddhadhanam. At this stage, if one hears Krishna lila, a desire emerges to achieve the wealth of one's perfected state. তবে ভাব তত্ত্ব স্মৃতি অনুক্ষণ করে ভাব যত বাড়ে তার ভ্রান্তি তত্ত্ব হরে. Then one constantly meditates upon bhav tattva, the nature of one's bhav. And as that bhav increases, one's misconceptions vanish. Then this section is Smaran Dasha. Tahate Vaida o Raganugata Bhaver Bhed. Sheshatiri Prayojan. That means the stage of Smaran Dasha. The difference between Vaidha and Raganuga Bhav. The necessity for the latter, for Raganuga Bhav. Smarana Dvividha Vaidha Raganuga Ar. Raganuga Smriti Jukti Shastra Hoite Par. There are two types of Smaran. There's Vaidha Smaran and Raganuga Smaran. Meditation at the stage of Raganuga is beyond the injunctions of Shastra. On Haribol, Prajumna Prabhu, and Mantramurti Mataji. Madhurya Akrishta hoye, koroye smaran, achirate prapta hoye, dasha bhavapana. Smaran stemming from attraction for Madhurya Ras quickly leads one to attain the state of Bhav Apana, attaining one's Bhav. I wonder if Śrīla Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura in Kalyana Kalpataru, the middle section is called upalabdhi. I wonder if it means if that's the same thing as bhavapana, attaining one's bhav. I don't know. So Vaidha Bhaktir Unnati Krame, the gradual progress of the devotee following the path of Vaidha, rules and regulations. Vaidha Bhakta Smriti Kale Sada Vicharai Anukula Jukti Shastra Jokon Je Hoy. At the time of Smaran, the devotee following the path of Vaidha always considers what is favorable according to the injunctions of Shastra. Bhavapane hoy bhav avirbhava kal Shastra jukti chhade tobe janiya janjal. Upon attaining bhav, at the time when his bhav appears, he abandons the injunctions of Shastra, knowing them to be a disturbance. Shraddhanishta ruchasakti krame jai bhav apana samoetaha hoy avirbhav. One gradually progresses from Shraddha to Nishta to Ruchi and Asakti to Bhav, and then to Bhav. So Shraddha, Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav. And we all know the meanings of those words. Yeah. At the time of attaining one's identity, that Bhav manifests. And so one has to follow Vaidhi, the process of Vaidhi up to this point, right? And then when one's bhav appears, then the person starts to really follow Raganuga bhajan, right? Then that person abandons the injunctions of Shastra, knowing them to be a disturbance. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting this wrong. That's what it looks like it's saying here. But maybe Ragun, actually, I need to hear if anybody knows. But when does Raganuga sadhan actually begin? Um, does it begin from asakti or ruchi, or actually at the stage of bhav, does it actually begin? Shraddha Nishta, yeah, okay, sorry. One gradually progresses from Shraddha to Nishta to Ruchi and Asakti, then to Bhav. At the time of attaining one's identity, that Bhav manifests. Then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, the phrase Apana Samaye means upon the achievement of Apana Dasha, the stage of attaining one's identity. Apan Dashai, Raganuga or Vaida Bhaktir Bhed Nai. At the stage of Apana Dasha, there is no difference between those devotees following the path of Raganuga and those following Vaidha. Interesting. Bhavapane Raganuga Vaidha Bhakta Bhed Nahi Thake Kon Mate Gai Smriti Ved. The Veda Smriti declares that upon achieving Bhav, there is no longer any difference between the Raganuga and Vaidha devotees. I don't fully understand this part. Any second. Okay. Pancha Vidha Smaran, the 5 types of remembrance. Smarana Dharana Dhyan Anusmriti Ar Samadhi e Panchavidha Smarana Prakar. The 5 kinds of remembrance are Smaran, remembrance, Dharana, steadfast remembrance, Dhyan, meditation, Anusmriti, constant remembrance, and Samadhi, total absorption. So this is like the same, although completely different, but the same terms used in Ashtanga Yoga, right? But of course, this is a completely different thing from Ashtanga Yoga. So then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Smaran is the initial stage of remembrance where one reflects upon one's Ekadash Bhav in relation to service during the 8 times of the day, the Ashtakaliya Lila. Even then, however, this remembrance is inconsistent and imperfect. Sometimes one can remember, sometimes there's distraction. Smarana eventually becomes dharana. In other words, dharana is a feeling of steadiness in smaran during one's sadhana. Dhyan is when one meditates upon every aspect of a particular object. Anusmriti is when one meditates constantly. When when that is completely uninterrupted, that is to say, when one only meditates upon Krishna Lila and nothing else, that is samadhi. No, 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 the person has no awareness of external reality. The Yeah, one's meditation is completely uninterrupted. Nothing external can break that meditation. Apan dasha appears when one performs remembrance in the form of samadhi. It may take many yugas for an incompetent person to pass through these 5 stages of remembrance. Those who are experts can attain apana dasha in a few days. Whoa, that's quite a big difference. Either yugas or a few days. Bhav apana dashar uday kal. The time when the stage of bhav arises. At the time when remembrance of one's swarup becomes samadhi. Oh wait, I forgot to read the Bengali. Did I forget to read the Bengali here also? No, I think I read this right. Smaran dharana dhyan anusmriti ar samadhi e panchavidya smarana prakar. Then bhavapan dashar uday kal. Samadhi swarupa smriti jeshamoy hoy. Bhavapana dasha asi hoy be udoy. At the time when remembrance of one's swarup becomes samadhi, then the attainment of the stage of bhav arises. Sheshamoy je avastha hoy. One's state of being at that time. Shei kale nija siddha deha abhiman, parajiya jada deha habe adhishtan. At that time, when one identifies with his siddha deha, one will completely conquer the influence of the material body. And Srila Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura says, at the stage of accepting one's bhav, any identity with the material body disappears. One's identification with the siddha deha predominates. Tokon swarupe vraja vasa kone kon bhavapane swaswarupe heri vrajavan. Then, at every moment, one resides in vraj, in one's swarup. At the stage of attaining one's bhav, one sees the force of vraj in one's own eternal form. Then Srila Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura says, then at every moment, one resides in vraj in one's own swarup. Upon attaining one's spiritual form, great bliss arises as one engages in serving Radha Krishna. In this way, firmly established in the identity of one's own form, as one takes darshan of Rajdham for a long time, divine playful pastimes directly manifest. Apani Swarup Siddhi Vastu Siddhi Linga Bhange. At Apanadasha, one attains Swarup Siddhi, and at the stage of Vastu Siddhi, one's subtle body is eradicated. Apane Swarupa Siddhi Labhe Bhagyavan Linga Bhange Vastu Siddhi Sampatti Vidhan. During Apanadasha, one who is fortunate attains Swarup Siddhi. At the time when the subtle body is eradicated, one attains Vastu Siddhi, which is the wealth of Sampatti Dasha, the stage of full possession. And then the translator's note, it says, Swarup Siddhi is a stage when a devotee becomes aware of his Swarup, his spiritual identity. Vastu Siddhi is a stage when a devotee attains complete liberation from matter, and one takes birth from the womb of a gopi. That is Vastu Siddhi. They're not just aware of what their spiritual identity is, but they're fully present in it. There's no more material sadak deha. Or wait, I don't mean to say material sadak deha. There's just no sadak deha. One's fully in one's um, because the sadak deha does become spiritualized, doesn't it? So I don't mean to say mundane. Yeah, okay. So now Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he says, by engaging in bhajan in this way, one will certainly see Krishna directly, and suddenly, by his will, by Krishna's will, when the physical body departs, the subtle body will also be eliminated. When the body of five gross elements collapses, the subtle body, which is comprised of mind, intelligence, and false ego, also falls along with it. Then one's pure spiritual form clearly emerges, uncovered, and one can engage in service to the divine couple in the transcendental Dham. Okay, so that's pretty clear, isn't it? First is Shravan Dasha. I'm just learning this for the first time, by the way. So this is my first understanding of it. I've never understood these terms before, but this is how what I'm understanding right now. So Shravan Dasha, one hears about at the stage of Shravan. Dasha means the stage, right? So at the stage of Shravan, and this is the sadhan of Ekadash Bhav. Sorry, Ekadash Bhav. So first, at the stage of Shravan, one hears about one's ruchi for Krishna, one's bhav, and then if that's fully in alignment with the person, like then the person will explain what their bhav is to Guru, and then the Guru will confirm, yes, this is your bhav, like that, um, like we read in Jaiva Dharma. And then one comes to the stage of Varandasha. One fully accepts, okay, this is my feelings towards Krishna. This is my mood towards Krishna. So right now, I'm not like I've obviously I'm very far away from understanding really what is my relationship with Krishna. I don't know yet. Am I in Sakyaras, in Madhuras? Very likely Madhuras, because I've come in this line, but there's no guarantee also. That's something. But eventually Shri Guru will explain that. And then once you then you'll get, I guess, some realization, some indication of that, and then you go to Shri Guru and you explain, Guru, I like, oh Gurudev, I feel this feeling towards Krishna, and either Sakyaras, Vatsalas, Madhuras, and then Shri Guru will confirm that, and then there's the stage of Varandasha. That's number two. That's full acceptance. Okay, this is my feelings for Krishna. This is my ruchi that I have for Krishna. And then comes the next stage, which is Smarandasha. Then one will remember Krishna's pastimes. Um, no, sorry. Then one will remember that. One will meditate on that form. And that's a whole long process, right? And then finally, at the stage of Apanadasha, one becomes fully, one understands um, I think I might be getting this wrong, but from what it sounded like to me, apanadasha is when you fully like you start to identify with this with your feeling, and you start to understand your swarup, like you come to the stage of swarup siddhi, and you start to see all these ekadash bhavs. You start to get an understanding of these ekadash bhavs that we read about before. Like what is your name, your form, your what group you're in, your service inclination, the orders that you have from your saki, all those different things, the ekadash bhav. Um, the what is it, parakashta, and then your palyadasi bhav. All those things start to become clear to you. Um, and then finally, the last stage is sampatti dasha, when the material body and the subtle body fully like are destroyed or eradicated, and one takes birth from the womb of a gopi, one attains vastu siddhi. That is sampatti dasha. So those are the stages from Shravan, Varan, Smaran, Apan, and then finally Sampatti. It's the stage of Bhav Sadhan. Okay. Sadhan Siddhir Phal. The results of Sadhan Siddhi. Hoya Sadhana Siddha Nitya Siddha Saha. Sammata Labhiya Krishna Seve Aharaha. Those who achieved Sadhan Siddhi, perfection through the process of sadhan, are equal to those who are nitya siddha, who are eternally perfect, since they both serve Krishna day and night. Then Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, at this stage, sadhan siddhas and nitya siddhas both attain salokya, attainment of the same spiritual abode. So really there's no difference between the sadhan siddhas and nitya siddhas. They're both serving Krishna in their transcendental, eternal form. And you know the difference between sadhan siddha and nitya siddha, right? And the sadhan siddha is somebody who reached perfection through practicing sadhan, and nitya siddha is one who never had to go through the process of sadhan. They were eternal. They never came to this material world. They were eternally in Goloka Vrindavan serving Radha and Krishna. So then, Nam Dwara Siddhi Labh. Perfection is achieved through the name. Seva bhanga artar kabu nahi hoy, parama ujvala rase satata matai. One's service to Radha Krishna is never again disturbed, and one becomes absorbed in the highest ujvala ras. Then one is in a constant state of divine madness. Sorry. Yeah, I think there's mistakes there. One's service is never again disturbed and absorbed in the highest ujjvala ras. One is in a constant state of divine madness. Matai. Should be matai, right? Oh, maybe not. Nam she paramadhana namir ashraye etta siddhi pai jiva shuddha sattva hoye. The name is one's greatest treasure. Thus, one should take refuge in the holy name. Upon achieving perfection through the name, the jiva becomes situated on the plane of pure goodness, Shuddha Sattva. And now Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur will explain the process in brief. This is verse 101. But it is 8 o'clock now, so I think we'll finish this chapter. Well, yeah, we'll definitely finish this chapter tomorrow. We have 1 minute left. I'll just read a little bit, just get a little preview of what we're going to read tomorrow. Okay, so therefore, a person who is inclined towards bhakti and the association of sadhus will take up chanting the holy name in seclusion without excluding anything in the process. Within a short time, by gradually following the process, he will attain all perfection. If he rejects bad association and keeps company with sadhus, results will appear. Association of sadhus, conducive seclusion, and one's mood of determination, then one achieves natural glory based upon the strength of these three. On the strength of what? Sadhu Sangha and conducive seclusion. That means, only staying in the real seclusion means staying far away from bad association, only remaining in the association of those devotees who are like-minded towards oneself and who are of a higher level of qualification. Good association of sadhus. And also dhrita bhav. That means one's a mood of determination. So one's natural glory, one achieves natural glory based upon the strength of these three things: sadhu sangha, sunirjan, and dhrita bhav. I am fallen, petty-minded, and engrossed in mundane things. I neglect the association of sadhus, and thus I have robbed my very self. If you ever expand your causeless mercy, then my prayer is that I may be allowed to enter into bhakti ras. Saying this, Haridas became unconscious with prema and offered his body at the feet of Sri Gauranga. With a voice choked with prema, the Lord picked him up, embraced him, and spoke these words from his heart. Now the Lord gives these instructions to Haridas Thakur. Listen, Haridas, when this Leela of mine becomes hidden, evil people will create darkness in the world. At that time, these supreme instructions of yours will be properly understood by those sadhus that still remain. That person who is niskinchan, who possesses nothing, who takes refuge in this process and the name, will sit in a secluded place and engage in bhajan of Krishna. And now comes a song, which is in Suhai Rag, I'll have to look up Suhai Rag and let's see if we can sing it in the proper rag. That'll be interesting, huh? And the song is, Oh Hari, who possesses such sweet qualities, you have stolen my eyes and minds by showing me your charming form. O Krishna, who is an abode of bliss, who is the most enchanting form of beauty, I can look at no other but you. O Hari, you have stolen my religiosity, and any fear of my elders or familial duty has gone far away. O Krishna, the power behind the sound of your flute has attracted me, and any remembrance of my body or home has gone far away. O Krishna, having attracted me, you touch my bodice, and and seeing this, I feel surprise and bewilderment. O Krishna, you try various tricks in order to touch my breasts. You cannot remain calm because of your extreme passion. O Hari, you take me onto your flower bed, and beg me to enjoy with you. O Hari, you steal my undergarments, and in only a moment you reveal the longing within your heart. O Hari, when you steal my garments and do things in that way, you also remove whatever resistance is left within me. O Ram, your form is so alluring, and you are expert in various aspects of love. Kindly fulfill my desires. You get this is going through each word of the Mahamantra. Hare, and then Krishna, and then Hare, and then Krishna, and Krishna, Krishna, Hare, Hare. These are, each word is filled with all these feelings and meanings. Oh Hari, we may tell you to stop and pretend to be vexed, but none of us keep our word. O Ram, O Supreme Enjoyer, how you make us float in the ecstasy of Ras. O Ram, O foremost of lovers, O you greatest seducer of the minds, I do not know how much bliss you give me. O Ram, O my lover, in my heart I consider myself to be most fortunate. Your form of Ras manifests within my heart. O Hari, there is no limits to your thieving. You steal and madden my heart. O Hari, you have all the expertise of a lion seizing its prey, and my heart is the object. There is nothing to me other than you. You are all I know. I have nothing without you. Every moment drags on like 100 kalpas, but you still leave me and remain apathetic towards me. Please tell me what I must do to remedy this. O Navaghana Sham, O you who resembles a new rain cloud, O pure abode of Ras, my heart is so overwhelmed. How can I remain here? Having attained such attachment to you, I lose consciousness. O dear friends, you are so far away. Please meet me again. This this mood is at the stage of separation, where Radhika, along with her 8 Sakhis, chants these names that are connected to Sambhog union, thinking that she is meeting with Krishna. Also, the word Hare is the name of Shrimati, which is the word Hara in the vocative case. In their own way, those who are bhavuks, who are relishers, who are full of bhav, they take pleasure in the bhav of the entire Ras Lila found within the names Hare Krishna. A jiva attains bhakti on the strength of his own good fortune, but not everyone has the power to achieve bhakti. To make bhakti steady for those persons who have sukriti, I have appeared, Saccidānanda Gaur Hari is saying, I have appeared in order to propagate the holy name, which is the Yuga Dharma. You are my assistant, O Haridas. You are my assistant in executing this activity. Thus I have listened to and caused Nam Tattva to issue from your mouth. Harināma-cintāmaṇi is an all-encompassing mine of nectar. One obtains it by the mercy of Krishna's mercy. One obtains it by the power of Krishna's mercy. Such a person is most successful and a great soul. He constantly experiences complete bliss, for it leads to the worship of Sri Krishna in a rag bhav, a mood of divine spontaneous attachment. Grasping such a person's feet and weeping, this insignificant fellow who possesses nothing constantly begs, after having drank a little, whatever remains, please take the essence of that nectarian ras and distribute that bliss. Iti Shri Harināma-cintāmaṇo Bhajana-praṇālī Pradarshanam Nama Panchadasha Paricheda. Thus ends the 15th chapter of Shri Harināma-cintāmaṇi, entitled An Explanation of the Method of Bhajan. And that is the end of Harināma-cintāmaṇi. So we will read all this tomorrow. I just wanted to read the translation for now so that we have a yeah, and then tomorrow we will read all the Bengali verses and maybe also do another little recap of these 5 stages of sadhan and this Ekadash Bhav sadhan. Extremely high topics, like very high topics. I've never even read these before or heard them before, but yeah, this is what we're aiming for in our practice. So of course we can't prematurely start to practice any of these, but at least we know, okay, this is why I'm chanting Harinam. I'm chanting Harinam so that I can get to this stage, so that I can start practicing this sadhan of Shravan. And then what is it? Shravan, Varan, Smaran, Apan, and Sampatti. These 5 stages of our sadhan. So, all right, I'll do a short Mahamantra and end for today. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. All right. Also, this is what sadhan means, right? What is the definition of sadhan? Um, what is it? Is it seva sadhaka rupena, siddha rupena chatrahi tadbhav? No. Um, God, I'm so rusty on all the basic definition verses, which I learned when I was like, I think I was like when I was 14, and then I just, Sundar Gopal taught them to me, and then I just, anyways, but from what I remember, sadhan, the meaning of sadhan is when your practice is for reaching the stage of bhav. But if you actually are not, if your practice is not with the aim of reaching bhav, you're just chanting for any other reason and you're not remembering, oh yeah, I'm doing this so that I can finally come to the stage, what we're reading about today, where I can come to that and start to practice, then what we're doing is not actually sadhan. It's not, it's something else. So if we actually want to begin the practice, begin our process of the begin to practice our sadhan, then we have to have some understanding of what we're aiming for. This is what we're aiming for. So it's very important. Yeah. All right. Jai Shila Gurudev, Jai Shri Saccidānanda Gaur Hari Ki Jai, Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ju Ki Jai, Shri Govinda Gopinath Maran Mohan Ju Ki Jai, Jai Shila Gurudev Ki Jai, Jai Shila Param Gurudev Ki Jai, Jai Shila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Jai Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Jai, Jai Swaparshad Shri Gaur Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopigan Ki Jai, Shri Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai, Shri Tulsi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Jai. Jai Shri Saccidānanda Bhaktivinoda Ṭhākura Ki Jai. Jai Shri Harināma-cintāmaṇi Ki Jai. Namachai Shri Haridas Ṭhākura Ki Jai. Jai Shri Saccidānanda Gaur Hari Ki Jai. Jai Shri Harinam Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Vrindai Tulsi Devai Priyai Keshavashacha Krishna Bhakti Pradadevi Satyavataya Namo Namaha. Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Dandavat pranams, Nri Hari Prabhu, Bhavatarani Mataji, Nita Mukesh ji, Ashray Tattva Prabhu, Vrinda Didi, Prajumna Prabhu, Mantramurti Mataji, Vamshi Wala Prabhu. Oh, and my father is there. Haribol, Rishabdev Prabhu, my dad, Ganga Mataji, and all the other devotees watching. I'm not sure if Raseshwari Mataji and Indira Mataji are there. Thank you so much for joining me in these readings of Harināma-cintāmaṇi. And it's interesting, isn't it, how the majority of Harināma-cintāmaṇi, like all the way to the very end, was mostly first we like it began with just having a general understanding of what is Nam and what is Namapas, what is Namapada, and then the majority of the book, all the way to this very last chapter, was just on the topic of Nam Aparad. How, and so that's really, it's so important that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's book on Harinam is like 85% or maybe more on just, no, maybe 85%, I don't know, just on the topic of aparad, because Harinam is so powerful that if we can just refrain from making aparad when we chant, um, Harinam will do its magic, it do its thing in our heart. And then once we're free from chanting Namaparad, then we can start to begin this Bhajan-praṇālī, this method of performing real bhajan. But as long as Namaparad is there, then there's no hope. Harinam will have no effect on us. We won't make any advancements. We'll only be making offenses. So it is the most important thing that we refrain from. We understand very, very thoroughly these 10 offenses to the holy name, and that we make an active effort to not commit any of them. And then we'll actually begin this process of Nam Bhajan, and very quickly we can make progress, and then finally reach the stage which we've been reading about today. So yeah. I've mentioned this before. I mention it all the time. It's probably like one of the things I like to say the most. But Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, it's in the context of the story of Ajamil. He says that for those who are free from aparad, they don't have this whole long process of Shraddha, Sadhusanga, Bhajana Kriya, Anartana Vritti, Nishta, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhav, Prem. It's just two processes, Nam Grahan and Vaikunta Arohan. Chanting the holy name and ascending to the spiritual world, ascending to Vaikunta. And so it's so important. It's the most important thing that we do not make aparad. And then, yeah, the most important thing. And then Nam will have some effect on us, and we'll be able to make very rapid progress. Yeah, so all right, that's our reading for today. Tomorrow we will read the Bengali of that last section and end this program, and then we'll begin our next program, which I don't know what it will be yet. I'm thinking maybe Bhakti Tattva Vivek, because we're on a Bhaktivinoda Thakur thing right now, and that's a small book, and it's very essential to understand clearly all the tattva of bhakti. What is bhakti, and the different types of bhakti, types of mixed bhakti, and all those things. So I think that would be good next. Yeah, all right. Thank you so much for joining. Oh, my brother is there. Haribol. Krishna Murari, Haribol. Dandavat pranams. Okay, my dad's calling me now, so I'm gonna end this video. See you all tomorrow. Thanks for letting me go over time also. Haribol, Ashray Tattva Prabhu. Henry Haribol.